In part 1, we journeyed to the very edge of time. We witnessed the singularity, the Raat Kaur explode into existence. We watched the early universe swirl as cosmic smoke, the Dukhan. We saw how the heavens expanded to create the galaxies we see today. But the miracle of creation isn't just out there in the cold, vast void of space, it is right here. Inside you, you are the most complex machine in the known universe, 30 trillion cells working in perfect harmony. But have you ever stopped to ask, how is this machine built? How does a single microscopic drop of fluid transform into a thinking, feeling human being? For centuries, this was a mystery hidden in the darkness of the womb. But 1400 years ago, the blueprint was revealed. Welcome to part 2 of the divine cosmos. Today, we leave the stars behind and enter the inner universe. Look up at the sky tonight. What do you see? It looks peaceful. It looks silent. And above all, it looks still. For thousands of years, humanity believed that the universe was a fixed, unchanging box. The stars were pinned to the ceiling of the night, immovable and eternal. Even Albert Einstein, the greatest physicist of the 20th century, believed this. When his own equations suggested the universe was moving, he couldn't accept it. He altered his math to keep the universe standing still. But he was wrong. The silence of the night sky is an illusion. In reality, we are sitting in the middle of a massive explosion that is still happening. In 1929, an astronomer named Edwin Hubble made a discovery that shattered our understanding of reality. He analyzed the light coming from distant galaxies. He noticed that the light was shifting toward the red end of the spectrum. This is known as rate shift. It is the same principle as a siren passing you on the highway. As it moves away, the sound waves stretch out and the pitch drops. In space, as galaxies move away from us, their light waves stretch out and turn red. Hubble realized that almost every galaxy he saw was rushing away from us. The universe is not static. It is expanding. It is growing bigger, vaster, and wider every single second. This was a revolutionary idea in 1929, but let us look at a text revealed in the deserts of Arabia in the year 615 AD. In Surah Al-Anbiya, chapter 51, verse 47, the Quran describes the construction of the cosmos. The verse translates to, "And the heaven, we constructed with strength, and indeed, we are expander." The Arabic word used here is musyun. This word comes from the root sa, which means capacity, vastness, or spaciousness. But the grammar here is the real miracle. In Arabic grammar, the word musyun is a plural active participle. This means it describes an action that is continuous and ongoing. It does not say we expanded it in the past tense. It says we are expanding it. The Quran didn't just claim the universe is big, it claimed the universe is getting bigger. It described a dynamic, moving, expanding cosmos at a time when everyone, from the Bedouins to the Greeks, believed the sky was a solid, fixed roof for a long time. Scientists thought gravity would eventually slow this expansion down. They thought the universe would stop growing. But in the late 1990s, we found out something even stranger. The expansion isn't slowing down, it is speeding up. A mysterious force which we call dark energy is pushing the universe apart faster and faster. The universe is expanding more today than it was yesterday. And this fits perfectly with the continuous grammatical form of musyum. We are expanding it. The process is active. The creation is still happening. Let's recap the journey so far. First, the universe began as a fuse point. Second, the Dukhan, it transitioned into a hot gaseous haze. Third, the musyum, it is currently stretching out into the void. How could one book, written by a man who could not read or write scientific equations, get the sequence, the terminology, and the physics so precise? But a universe of exploding stars and expanding gas is deadly. It is hostile. How did life emerge in such a chaotic place? The answer lies in a substance that covers 70% of our planet. We have traveled from the explosion of the Big Bang to the burning smoke of the early nebula. We have seen the universe tearing itself apart and expanding at terrifying speeds. The universe is vast, it is violent, and for the most part, it is dead. Radiation, extreme cold, and vacuum make 99.9% of the cosmos hostile to life. But here, in this tiny corner of the Milky Way, suppose something different happened. Matter became alive. Atoms organized themselves into breathing, thinking, feeling beings. How? If you ask NASA what they look for when searching for extraterrestrial life, they have a three-word motto: follow the water. Why water? Because water is the universal solvent. It is the medium in which the chemistry of life happens. Inside every cell in your body is a substance called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is roughly 80% water. Without water, DNA cannot hold its shape. Without water, nutrients cannot move. From the smallest bacteria to the largest blue whale, every biological organism is, essentially, organized water. In the 7th century desert, water was more precious than gold. It was scarce. People of that time had many theories about life. Some thought life came from the earth. Some thought it came from blood. Some thought it was fire. But the Quran made a definitive biological statement. Let's go back to the very first verse we analyzed in this documentary, Surah Al-Anbiya verse 30. We looked at the first half regarding the Big Bang Raat Kan Fat. Now, look at the second half of the same verse. And we made from water every living thing. Then will they not believe? Every living thing. It is an absolute statement. It admits no exceptions. It doesn't say most things. It says every living thing. In a time when biology was based on myths and superstition, this verse pinpointed the single, fundamental chemical requirement for life. And again in Surah An-Nur, verse 45, Allah has created every moving creature from water. Today, whether we look at the extremophiles in volcanoes or the fish in the deepest trench, the rule holds true. No water, no life. So let us look at the complete picture. We have a book preserved for 1400 years that claims to be from the creator of the heavens and the earth. What does it tell us? Science says the universe began as a singularity. The Quran says it was rock fused. Science says the universe exploded outward. The Quran says it was separated. Science says the early universe was a hot, gaseous haze. The Quran says it was Dukhan smoke. Science says the universe is expanding. The Quran says we are Muslim expanding it. Science says life is impossible without water. The Quran says we made from water every living thing. Is it possible that a man in the desert guessed the correct state of the early universe? Is it possible he guessed the expansion of space? Is it possible he guessed the biological foundation of all life? Or is the author of this book the same, one who created the stars? The Quran invites you to think, to ponder, to question. As the verse says, verily, in the creation of the heavens and the earth are signs for those of understanding. The universe is a message. Have you read it? Thank you for joining us on this journey through the divine cosmos. If this series opened your eyes, please like, share and subscribe. Let us know in the comments which topic we should cover next. Until next time.